Hi everyone, Marcel here. Welcome back to my home. Welcome back to my kitchen. Welcome back to episode 2 of my Meatless Main Day series, which is actually happening on Tuesday today, and I will tell you why. When I sat down to edit the video, I realized half of it was gone. My camera had shut off for some reason right at the point where I was putting everything into the pot for the chowder. It actually just cut off and there was just nowhere to edit. I don't know what happened. I don't know if a text came through or something, but it shut off for some reason. But we got that all fixed. I did not have time to redo it yesterday. I just had, mild panic attacks for like a second and spiked my coffee. Just kidding. Or am I? But anyhow, guys, it is Tuesday morning. We're redoing this. Today, our meatless main dish is this delicious, cheesy, super flavorful pot of potato and bean chowder. It is a creamy vegetarian chowder that has quickly risen to the top of favorite things around here. Even my meatitarian husband asked for seconds on this one, and lucky for him, we're making a second pot today, so he'll have plenty of it to get him through the week. All right, guys, well, let's go ahead and have a look at everything we need to put together a pot of our delicious potato and bean chowder. Okay guys, well here's everything we need to put together a pot of our delicious potato and bean chowder today. Stars of the show here, I have about 3 large russet potatoes that I have chopped into some really large pieces. You do want to chop your potatoes into some pretty hearty pieces so they don't break down like mashed potatoes, but this totals up to 4 cups of potatoes. Cannellini beans. This is 1 can of cannellini beans that I have put through a colander, rinsed and drained, so they are ready to go. This is a good measure of Swiss cheese. I did have to buy the block and grate it myself. Trust me, if I could have found a bag of grated Swiss cheese, I totally would have bought that. Veggie broth, 32 ounces. We will use all of that. This is half of a medium onion, just very coarsely diced. We will need a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, guys, and spices. I've got some thyme, some parsley, some oregano, some salt, all dried spices. That's how I roll. A little bit of white pepper we'll be using. 2 cups of milk. We'll need this towards the end of the recipe. And then for garnish and a pretty pop of color, I've got this jar of roasted peppers here. You do want to get just the roasted peppers, don't get the marinated peppers. This is piquillo peppers, it's what my store had, but if your store has the roasted sweet red bell pepper, that's actually what I went looking for, but this is what I found. Go ahead and pick that up too. All right guys, I am going to ask you to visit my website to get all the exact measurements to make this soup. The recipe is live on my blog. The link is below in the description box. And it's ready for you to print out, but if you go through the store, usually with a device, a tablet or a phone, I do have digital strike through on all my recipes on my website, so you can use it just like you're marking it off on a grocery list if there's a recipe on there you'd like to make. All right, guys, that's enough about that. Let's get cooking. Okay guys, I just wanted to add in a quick kitchen tip that I use pretty often. If you're a meal prepper and you want to cook a dish that has potatoes in it, you may notice that when you chop them, they kind of start to get a funky color on them, like a grayish kind of tone to them. That's just an enzyme reaction that they have once they are cut and exposed to the air, a lot like apples. And this is I shared a similar tip when I shared about my apple snap cookies a few months ago, how to keep it from turning color like this. Acid, citric acid, lemon juice. You would treat potatoes just like you would apples to keep them from turning color, and you could actually store these for days. So if you're a meal prepper, you could treat your potatoes like this and put them in a container in the refrigerator, and they would look just as pretty after a few days as they did when you first sliced them. So you toss them, just a little bit of lemon juice, and let it sit for just about a minute, and then rinse off the lemon juice, let them drain. you know, pat them dry with a paper towel, and then you can store them. But that'll perk up their color, guys. Just a quick little tip. All right, let's get back to making our chowder. Okay guys, so we've got a little bit of olive oil here. I always forget the olive oil. About 2 tablespoons. We're gonna start off with that and let it heat up. All right, so oil is nice and hot. We're gonna go in with our potatoes. Give them a good stir. Go ahead and add in our onions. Just saute these for just a couple of minutes. All right, so our potatoes and onions have been going for a couple of minutes. Our onions are translucent and the potatoes are getting a little bit of color on them. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and add in all the spices. Give that a good stir. One more. Can't forget the pepper. I'm just gonna eyeball about a teaspoon of this, guys. Love white pepper. Stir that in. Mix it up. You get this just about another minute. All right. So all of this veggie broth is going right in. And then we're gonna cover this and bring it to a boil, let it simmer for about 10 minutes until these potatoes are tender. And then we're gonna go on and make the soup nice and creamy. All right, so I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay guys, so our pot has been boiling for a good 10, 12 minutes and potatoes are looking nice and tender. It smells phenomenal in here. So now for the last step, we're gonna take our shredded Swiss cheese and we're actually gonna mix the flour right in with the cheese and get the cheese nice and coated with the flour. All right, looks good. And then we're gonna take our milk and put it right in here with the cheese. And give this all a good mix. And then I bet you can guess what's gonna happen next. All right, so once this looks like it's pretty well mixed up here, we're gonna go ahead and take this milk mixture and put it right into our pot of soup. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna carefully scoot this right back into frame here. Give it a good mix. One last ingredient, our beans, last but not least, right? All right, so give it a good stir. Oh my goodness, such good stuff in this pot. All right, so we're gonna bring this back to a boil, heat everything through, get that cheese nice and melted. It's gonna be thick and delicious, guys. All right, guys, so our pot's been sitting for a little bit. It's been simmering and steaming. Once you add that cheese in there, you do want to give it a couple of good stirs. You don't want all that cheese to just settle on the bottom because it'll burn. But this is it. This is our potato and bean chowder. It is creamy and so delicious. I did adjust the spices. I put probably another quarter teaspoon of salt in here. I just needed just that little bit. So do adjust your spices to your taste. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you how we're gonna plate this up. All right, so we've got our peppers here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab one straight out of the jar onto my little cutting board here. I'm just gonna slice some thin little strips of it. All right, we are ready to garnish our soup. There you go, guys. Delicious potato and bean chowder ready to serve. All right, guys, well, that's it. Our creamy potato and bean chowder is all ready to go. It smells fantastic in my house. I'm going to be pairing this chowder up actually with just a simple side salad and breadsticks. You have got to pair this up with breadsticks. It is so good with some soft, buttery, garlicky breadsticks. But that's it, guys. I do thank you for stopping by and for joining me for episode 2 of my Meatless Main Day series. Please leave me a thumbs up on the way out if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this recipe. I sure hope you love it if you try it. If you're new to my channel and stopping by for the first time, welcome, and I do hope you'll hit that subscribe button and stick around. I've got some great recipes coming up in the next few weeks and actually for the rest of 2020, and I'd love to have you here for all of it. Thanks again, guys. Thanks to everyone for stopping by and spending a little time with me tonight, and I will see you in another video really soon.